Hello YouTube, I've got a problem with my 2008 Hyundai Sonata where sometimes we'll turn on the engine and start it and it starts just fine, but then we go and if the car's in park, or sometimes when we shift it from park into neutral or drive, it will just start grinding, like the sound you hear when you try to start the engine after the engine's already been started. And that sound is the starter gear engaging with the flywheel when the flywheel's already moving at high speed, and so it grinds the starter against the flywheel, and it's not good for the flywheel or the starter to do that. So it's important that you fix this problem quickly so that your flywheel doesn't get damaged by the starter motor trying to engage the flywheel. The problem with the ignition switch and the loud grinding noise would happen occasionally when we first turn on the vehicle, and it's sometimes just you turn on the vehicle, it would start, but then the grinding would immediately start. It would make that loud grinding sound like you were still trying to start the car even though it had already started. It's that loud grinding noise. Sometimes the grinding noise would happen when we'd switch and put the car in gear. So let me start it here. Oh, that's it right there. So that was the grinding noise that you heard. That was the starter trying to engage the moving flywheel. And notice when I shifted it down into reverse, the grinding noise went away. Oh, and it does it in neutral, but not reverse. Put it in park, oh, it's grinding again. So sometimes if it's in park or neutral, it does it in neutral or park, but not in drive or reverse. So this is a major problem that can lead to a damaged flywheel and a damaged starter, because you don't want that to happen. So let me show you that noise one more time. See, when I shift it into neutral, makes that bad grinding noise. You don't want that. At first I thought it was the transmission happening. I thought the transmission was going bad. This is a 2008 Hyundai Sonata with 136,000 miles on it. I thought the transmission was going bad, but after researching some online forums and some other YouTube videos, this is a common problem with Hyundais, to have the ignition switch go bad. And the ignition switch is behind here. I'm going to get up underneath. I'm going to kind of lay my head down on the gas pedal and look up and work on fixing it. And I just bought the part at O'Reilly's Auto Parts for $22, but you can also buy it on Amazon. They have an OEM Hyundai part on Amazon, but the problem was it takes a month to ship here, and I need to use this car this month. I can't just let it sit without using it, and I don't want it to destroy the flywheel or the starter by having this problem continue to happen. So anyway, I'm going to get this fixed. The new part I bought, and I'm going to show you under. Here's the dash. I'm going to get up underneath. There's the brake pad and the gas pedal. I'm going to look up underneath here and see if I can show you where it's at there carefully. So that's it right there, that blue thing attached to it. So it's just right in there. Can't point to it very well, but that blue and white thing with that one screw, we just gotta take off that wiring that's attached to it up there, and then unscrew that screw and pull it out with the key in the transmission. So I'll go over the steps on how to do it here. You can't lay down and work on it with your head back there. You can take off this panel to get easier access to it, but it's a little more work, so I'm going to try to do it without taking off any panels and just cram my neck and head up in there to work on it. This repair, some people have recommended you remove the negative terminal off the battery to disconnect the battery when you do this. You can do that if you want, but the critical thing is that while you're doing the repair, you need to leave the key in the correct position the whole time and not move it. So for my car, you can see the on position right there. So I'm going to put it into the on position, but not start. And the thing is, you'll hear that sound the whole time you're working on it, but you have to leave it in that on position the whole time. You don't move the key until you're finished with the repair. If you move the key, it can mess up and become a more difficult project to fix. So leave it in that position the whole time. And then you also are going to come and disconnect the wire harness up here before you remove the screw. So that allows it to come out more easily before you fix that issue. So for this job, I've got a headlamp, and a Phillips screwdriver, and then there's also a light that's up in there, just a little magnetic battery powered light that's shining right there where I need it to, so I can see what I'm doing when I'm working on it. So that right there is the ignition switch we're going to change out. So before we unscrew that little screw that's attaching it, we're going to disconnect that wire there. So step one was to remove this, and it was trickier than it appeared to be online. I can show it there. There's a little latch that makes it hard to unplug. I had to kind of pry it with a flathead screwdriver and pull pretty hard to get this off. So got that off. Now I'm going to unscrew the one screw that's above there to release this ignition switch. And just, you're going to have to ignore that beeping sound because you don't want to change where the key position is. See how it just slides out real carefully. Just kind of memorizing where it's going here too. So picture it right there. We're going to memorize how it fits in. And you can notice that beeping sound didn't start until I disconnected the wire. So got this pulled out. Here's the new one. Again, just kind of memorized how it goes on. And just kind of shifted a little bit and it went right in. And then I'm going to put the screw back in now. First just with my fingers, and then I'll tighten it with the screwdriver. It's a tough place to work and film at the same time. Oh good, so I got that plugged in and that beeping sound stopped. Okay, the car's still in the on position. You can take it out, put it in, we'll try starting it. And we're not getting the grinding sound right now. Put it in reverse. So we'll try putting it in neutral. No grinding sound there. So it's not getting any grinding noises. It wasn't doing it every time though, so I'll have to test the car out for a few weeks to know. The problem had become more and more frequent, so it started only happening once randomly, once a month, and then it would starting to happen once a week, and then recently, the last few days, it's been happening like once a day. So the problem of the grinding sound was happening more and more frequently as this ignition switch went bad. So it's in these Hyundai vehicles, it's a common problem in this era of a Hyundai vehicle for the ignition switch to go bad. So I think this is a common problem, that it's not necessarily your transmission going bad, which at first I thought it was the transmission because it was related to when it was in neutral or park, it would make that grinding sound, but it's actually the sound of the starter grinding against the flywheel because this ignition switch has gone bad, and it was electronically telling the starter to grind against the ignition switch, to grind against the flywheel when it wasn't supposed to be. So this is an easy fix for the problem. You don't even have to take it to a mechanic. It's simple to do. You can have a mechanic do it if you want. They probably won't even charge that much, but you want to make sure they diagnose it correctly. And it's inexpensive to fix this problem. The part is only $20, and it only took me 15-20 minutes, and that was with me filming it. If I wasn't trying to make a video out of this, you could have this done in a matter of 10 minutes. It's easy to do. So this is something you can do yourself and save yourself a lot of money. Hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Comment below if you have had a similar problem with the the grinding noise that happens when your car is in park or neutral. Comment below if you've had a similar problem and what you did to fix it. If you had the same problem, did you use the replacing the ignition switch to solve the problem, or did you have something else that was going on that was causing that noise that you had to fix? So help the community figure out what their problems are. It's nice that we can help each other fix these problems and save some money. Thanks for watching. Here is the old ignition switch that we took out. It's not that hard to replace. Filming it while you're trying to replace it is really difficult, but doing it, you could get it done in 20 minutes, and this part only cost me $20 at the auto parts store. You can get the part for less money on Amazon, but it was going to take a month to ship to get the part from Amazon. So I was like, well, I can't wait that long. I don't want my flywheel to get damaged from the starter trying to engage the flywheel randomly because of the ignition switch going bad. And anytime it was in park or neutral, not anytime, but sometimes when it was in park or neutral, it would grind the starter gear against the flywheel. It wouldn't do it when I was driving, so it was never a problem when I was driving around on the roads, and it was never a problem when it was in reverse or drive, but only in park or neutral. And there's that blue wiring harness that goes onto it. And I already screwed the screw back in there. See that you can see that one screw up there. You just need to unscrew that one screw to remove the old actually, before you unscrew the screw, remove the wiring harness, which is trickier to do than you think. So we'll remove that wire first, then unscrew the screw. Then when the key is still in the run position, you remove the wiring or the ignition switch. Then you put the new ignition switch back in the exact same position, screw the screw down, and then replace the wiring harness, plug it back in, and then you're good to go. It's really pretty quick and easy. So I'll give you an update video later to let you know if it's fixed the problem, but I think it will from all the other videos and forums I've read about that. This ignition switch going bad can oftentimes cause that starter to grind against the flywheel when you're in park or neutral. Thanks for watching. Hope this video is helpful.